back to another episode of the Mental Wealth Podcast with your boy. See, you already know what time it is. I got the juice. And I'm finna give it to you real quick. Today's episode, man, is gonna be super dope. If you can't tell by the title, we cooking up with Rod Steele, the chef. Let me tell you a little bit about this brother real quick, man. Came across this dude on social media. I was doing my TikTok live with people, and he came across one live I was doing, and he liked the conversation. He liked what I was putting out there, and shot me a message with a little comment. We chopped it up outside live. It was just, he's a solid individual, and we just built a friendship. And we tapped in, and we've been talking about doing this interview right here for quite some time. But man, we definitely locked in, and we finna get it in, man. So again, this brother is out of Los Angeles, California. He is a chef who has literally served some prestigious individuals. I'm not gonna give too much away, man. I'm gonna let him tell his story. But outside of that, man, I hope y'all enjoy this. So sit back, relax, you know what I'm saying? Roll you up some, pull you up some, whatever you got to do, kick your feet and really enjoy this and soak this in, because we got to tie in that mental wealth aspect. I want to give y'all something that y'all can take away and apply to your own personal life, whatever it may be, you find useful out of this episode. So get ready. I'm finna bring my boy on, Mr. Rod Steele, the chef.
Man, thank you for having me, man.
My God. Hey, you already know, man, it's definitely a pleasure to have you here on my podcast, the Mental Wealth Podcast, brother. And like I said,
appreciate you.
I always say,
yeah.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. I always say, man, the most expensive thing we give each other is time, man. So I appreciate you for coming through. But
man, most definitely, man. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, so yeah, man, talk a little bit. When we connected on TikTok, man, because I think that was you don't get that a whole lot on social media, man. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people on social media that got super egos and you know what I mean, or too big for their platform and they don't mind. You feel me? So I don't know, man. I feel like it was cool, organic. You know what I'm saying? Little connection, bro. But from your perspective, man, like what how we connected?
Yeah, most definitely, man. It was most definitely organic. I think I've just happened to get on TikTok. I was scrolling and whatnot. I think you popped up on my For You page. So, I went ahead and tapped in. I was feeling the positive energy you was kicking. So I forgot what you was subject matter you was talking about at the moment, but whatever you was talking about definitely hit me and stuck with me at that moment. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna see what this brother talking about, man. So I'm tapped in, so I'm like, I got to listen to you kick some shit, and I'm like, all right. I think I commented, you know what I'm saying, and it was up from there, So we ended up locking.
For sure, man.
Here we are.
Yes, sir.
For a minute though, so
yeah. But great things take time, man. So you know what I'm saying? I'm glad we took the time, man, to really lock in and get to this point, man. Cause I think we got an episode for the folks they really gonna enjoy, man. First and foremost, just your story, bro. Like just your background in general. Once I was able to do my research, just kind of see the type of individual that Rod Steele is. You literally a chef, a family man, a serial entrepreneur. You got a lot going on, brother. I know it can't be easy, man. The biggest reason why I wanted to have you on the episode was because I feel like your experience in many different aspects of life, man, can really, touch some folks. So with that being said, man, we're gonna jump right into this thing with the first question, my brother. Can you share a bit about your background and what led you to become a chef and entrepreneur, particularly within the culinary scene in LA?
Okay, most definitely, man. It was a long journey, man. Before I actually came back home to LA to lay down in the culinary field. I actually kind of came up, born and raised in LA, of course. But when I was about 17, I moved to Maryland, Silver Spring, Maryland, to be exact. And I actually stayed there for about 7 years. So, 2007, a year after graduating high school, I ended up bouncing back to Maryland to, just figure out life, if you want to call it that. I didn't move out there with chef aspirations. I just kind of, moved out just to get out of LA and area where I kind of grew up, and things that was going on was like, it's a detrimental time to
Yeah.
like, get out the way because of what was going on. And it was just the perfect time for me, to just figure out life. I was young, transitioning into adulthood, and I needed a job, of course. So first
Yeah.
job I got um, at a local restaurant, IHOP to be exact. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I started off at IHOP doing the nitty gritty, and you know obviously
Getting it in.
graduated to better things like hotels and things like that to sharpen my skills up. So yeah, man. But for the most part,
That's what's up.
I transitioned into like just getting back home. As far as putting it down on the East Coast, just working in different restaurants throughout, DC, Maryland, and Baltimore, all through Virginia, country clubs and things like that. Just building my resume up for the most part.
Yeah.
And of course, life be life in throughout the process.
Most definitely.
So, but for the most part, I brought it back home in 2014. For the most part, I packed up, all my belongings and had many other reasons to get back home. You know, for the most part, to be a, influence to my younger siblings that I have a bunch of, teenage siblings. That was the main reason of getting back and being closer to home. And, for the most part, I packed up all my belongings and drove back to LA, 3 days in a row, you know, and took a
Yeah. Damn.
2 hour nap here and there.
That's what you call hustling, man.
And just hit the road
Getting
by
it.
myself. I had a few
Yeah.
people gonna hit the road with me, but they kind of flaked out at the last minute. So I just
Always do.
packed up and did my thing.
That's what's up, man. You touched on quite a bit of things, man. So let's unpack some of that because I ain't just trying to fly by, you know what I'm saying? Some of that stuff, man. I know in that process, just having a conversation between me and you, in that process of you working in some of these places, uh, you've had you've had the pleasure of serving some pretty prestigious people, man. And that's nothing to take lightly for sure, because that says a lot about you as an individual and a lot about you as a chef. So, man, talk your shit, man. Let the folks know like what's really going on with the chef stuff, man. What was who were some of the big names that you was able to put your craft on? You know what I'm saying? They were able to
I
experience.
give credit where credit is due for sure, man. I worked with lots of other prominent chefs, where I've come to gain my skill from and learn bits and pieces and techniques from certain chefs of a high caliber, who had um, vast training, what I'm saying, from other parts of the world that I had never touched. So for the
Yeah.
most credit was due. Like a lot of chefs I work with, I work a restaurant called Black Salt in Washington D.C. is where I got most of my skill from. That's why I labeled myself a chef. I came in there as a cook and I left there a chef. Just
That's
by
what's up. Yeah.
type of environment and the type of styles of cooking they was doing there. You know what I mean? But I'll get into it. But for the most part, that restaurant there, it was a celebrity chef I was working with by the name of Jeff Black. So, a lot of people was
Okay.
coming through the restaurant for, his name and things like that for what he was doing. He was featured in the Washingtonian magazine a couple times, on the top 100 restaurants in DC. So, for the most part, people like Michelle Obama have come through to dine in, Secret Service and all. And me and the other team of guys that I, used to rock with on the line cooking. We threw down, really threw down for like big names. Lots of people used to come in there, Montel Jordan and, different folks who like we recognize, along the way of
Yeah,
like different
yeah,
like celebrities or just, like the newscast and, whether people, it was like local people was like known for like stopping at that spot to, for what they was doing, serving up some of the best seafood in, that,
yeah, yeah.
that region for the most part, so everybody was coming to get a taste of that.
That's
And
what's up.
that's, far as,
That's
cooking there. And, of course, I graduated from that restaurant and, moved on to working at country clubs to where you working around, millionaires and stuff like that, what I mean? So you serving like a higher, caliber of clientele and stuff like that. That was cool for the most part. You do deal
oh
with
yeah,
racism and stuff like that here and there, what I mean,
oh
depending
yeah,
like I'm specifically speaking like Virginia,
yeah, yeah,
like being who I am and like how I penetrate through different environments, I would just say,
yeah,
of, backgrounds, different,
yeah,
you kind of go in there and, a lot of people don't really expect you to like, have the knowledge that you have or have the skill set or
exactly,
even the resume that I have. My resume is pretty extensive when it comes to
exactly.
restaurants. So, going in there, young guy, back then I used to rock my cornrows. So, I was tatted
Yeah,
up and all that, what I mean? Young dude.
yeah,
Like, you're not the norm, you know what I'm saying? Um,
exactly, exactly.
one thing
That's
about
crazy
DC,
too, man.
yeah,
Now go ahead,
I'm,
go ahead.
so one thing about DC, is on the chef scene, that's where I kind of, it's a lot of young like black chefs, you know what I mean, in position, as far as to
Yeah,
people like myself on or give people a shot, because somebody it just took for them to give me a shot for me to get my foot in the door, because like I said, I started at IHOP, and that was like, you're getting your foot in the door, you're doing some cooking, but it ain't fresh cooking from scratch, so you're
yeah,
not really
true story.
chef, you just working, doing your
Yeah,
thing,
you
and
getting your feet wet. Yeah,
getting your, you know what I
so
mean.
yeah,
So that was, as a black chef who
that's
gave me a
what's
shot
up.
at a hotel, and I kind of wiggled my
That's
way
what's
in
up.
from that system.
Now how old were you at that time?
At that time, I was 19. I mean, I started at IHOP in 2007, so I was 19 years old then, and I
Yeah.
stayed for about 2 years. So
Okay.
did that.
How old were you when you were doing your thing in DC?
Um, Pretty much like they started at 19 because that's pretty much what I went. I went back at 18, like 17 going into 18. So I kind of turned
Yeah,
and then was there. Then, by like 18 and a half going into 19 is when I was like, all right, I need to, like, I mean, I was working, doing other little odd jobs and things like that to,
yeah,
make some dough or whatever. But, I was like, damn, I need something that I can, that I'm passionate about. My cousin, he already was doing his chef thing for about a
yeah,
couple of years. He lived in DC where I moved to. For the most part, I had an older cousin who was an attorney. He worked his way up through the ranks of, going to Howard Law School, graduating from USC and UCLA, and then, moving to DC, uh,
okay,
purchasing a home, going to law school, becoming an attorney out there for the most part. And he was the one who kind of brought me and my cousins in and allowed us to move with him and have a place to stay and come out to a different state and be able to navigate and
so
that's
like a fresh start.
yeah, a fresh start to get
Yeah,
up out of LA and get up out of the madness that was going on.
yeah. So 'cause they the favorite saying out there in LA is stay dangerous. You feel me? Like,
You know,
you definitely
but,
got to be on your P's and
but
Q's, man.
it's sad to say, but it's really like that. It's just It has its
True
positive
story.
about it too. Make the best of it, but for the most part, I don't reside currently in LA, but I've moved out. But I do. My
Yeah.
whole entire family is still, you know, embedded there. So I've
Right.
been here.
Right.
But yeah,
That's what's up,
that's
man.
dangerous,
That's what's
man.
up,
No matter
man. But
where you're, man. You up north, but
yeah, I'm knowing.
thing.
I'm knowing, man. It's still, you gotta keep your head on the swivel, man. You know what I mean? Because you never know, man. You never know. So, you know what I mean? But definitely gotta stay, you know what I'm saying, stay on your piece of skills, man, because people be wilding. But yeah, man, that's first and foremost, man, like to be that young and to be doing what you was doing, uh, that's major, man. Respectfully, like that's major. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to just brush by that. I feel like that's a big deal. One thing I want to ask you too is being that young and having that kind of like like that experience with that caliber of people, like what was that doing to your mind? Like as a young king, you is that gassing you up in your mind, or like are you like, oh yeah, I'm him, like I'm the man, you know what I'm saying, or how was
For
you,
the
you know what
most
I'm saying?
part, man, it's a lot of ego in it, but not necessarily in my case, man. Because like the ranks that I have to climb, you really have to go in, and kind of prove yourself. Like when you go to these certain restaurants, and then your skill level becomes so great to where like okay, you can go in these places confidently and demand like okay, I would like to get paid this amount, or
Yeah,
I would like to work specifically this position in your establishment, like far as like saute, you got grill and different areas of the kitchen. You can be able to negotiate a little better when it comes to like gaining your skill level. Like most restaurants will have you come in and off the street. Like you can literally walk in off the street, got your uniform and things like that. You got your knife kit, and you can be like, "Hey, I want to come try out." For the most part, they call it stage. It's spelled like stage, but French
yeah,
pronunciation is they call it stage. You come in and you work for about an hour or two, just to for the chef to kind of see where your skill level is and see if you're a good fit. And they'll pull you right in like off the spot. I done been hired, on the spot just by walking into a restaurant and like, hey, like
that's what's up.
yeah, and you have
That's
your
dope.
resume.
I never knew that. I never knew that.
Yeah, like it is. It wasn't always like that. You know what I mean? I remember going
Yeah,
to
yeah,
interviews, being nervous, man, and getting a shot like that, and then in there and cutting myself or something. Like
yeah.
uh, a little slip up or something like that, to where you kind of nervous. Your skill level ain't necessarily up to par where these guys are. So
Right,
it
right.
intimidating. You know what I'm saying? And then
For
you
sure.
take all that and shit.
Especially when you're dealing with people who are like top tier in their craft. It's definitely like nerve wracking for sure. But
Yeah,
and the
like
fact that you was able to navigate that at a young age, man, like I commend you on that for sure. 'Cause I know that wasn't easy, but you did that, and that's a part of you and your legacy, man. So definitely congratulations on that from that aspect. But moving forward in the in you know what I'm saying in the conversation, I know also, man, you're a family man, so that's something that I made sure I mentioned in your intro. Being a family man and a serial entrepreneur can be demanding. So how do you balance your personal life and your professional ventures while maintaining your mental health?
um the way I balance, I just try to make sure I cut out time. If we don't serve ourselves, what I mean, not necessarily serve ourselves, but if we don't take care of ourselves, you can't take care of anybody. You can't take care of your family. You can't take care of uh, obligations for whatever cause may be outside of yourself. I feel like I always try to take time for meditation, and I find times to work out and do different things that allow me to kind of keep a mental balance throughout the demands of fatherhood and transitioning to becoming a new father and things like that. My son's about 2.5. So, the transition
Yeah.
going into motherhood, and at the same time, trying to launch these companies and things like that, and at the same time, just the demands of being a melanated man like yourself. You feel me? And
Yeah.
what we
So
deal with, that it could be draining, but at the same time, shit, like the only no show up, man, because shit, we crap out, man. Like everybody looking.
yeah. Exactly, man. You got it. Man, it's definitely hard, man. Like I don't want to say easy, but just growing up, man. We definitely carry a lot of weight that goes unnoticed a lot of times and talked about. Like we will suppress certain things or like hide certain emotions because as black men we raised to be really militant. You know what I'm saying? We're not supposed to show emotion or not supposed to let people see us sweat. You feel me? Like it's supposed to always be on point. We're supposed to always be on 10. So it's just it's really a balancing act for sure. You know what I mean? And especially the young king that you're raising as well. I know, like I said, like that don't come with no type with it. That's just fly
Yeah,
by night, trial and error. So yeah, man, like that's dope, man. I'm and I know you also you know what I'm saying, speaking back on you being a chef, you also you eat very clean, and I've seen like a lot of your content, you know what I'm saying, on social media. You know what I'm saying, all his links and stuff like that in the bio of this podcast, so y'all can go check them out too. But I've seen some of your cooking, man, and I ain't gonna hold you, man. I can't wait to get my hands on a plate, man, because you doing some things with vegetables and you know what I'm saying that I ain't never, you know what I'm saying, I ain't never seen, man. So it's just like I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then just being on social media with it and as consistent as you are, you know what I'm saying. Talk a little bit about that. Like what made you get into like just eating clean and stuff like that?
for sure, man. It was a long journey, man. It wasn't always as easy as I make it look now, man. But most part, I would say in 2017, um, my current, like my fiance, she has a brother, and he was already vegan for the most part, and he invited us to a seminar that him and his team and a couple other people were hosting and doing and stuff like that. And I believe the seminar, they were kind of like it wasn't necessarily about veganism, but a lot of people there they were already kind of vegan, and they were just talking about um, a lot of different things, man, that and how it correlated to us as melanated beings and things like that. But for the most part, the event touching on they actually showed a documentary, man, called "What the Health." So if
Oh
anybody
yeah, I seen
that
that.
that it's a few years old for sure, but yeah, they showed us that, and I feel like that was the that was the one right there
Yeah,
that made like, damn, man, I started looking at everything different, like
yeah,
more respect for like like the animals and just like life in itself, and
true story. I mean, you
um
see, I got my chlorine and green juice. You know what I'm saying? You definitely gotta
man,
stay on that, trying to stay on that healthy stuff, man. So you
yeah,
already
man.
know, man. So
Health number one, though, man. For the most part, the health benefits of eating a cleaner diet. Far as for longevity, I think about legacy, and I think about fatherhood, and carrying on a legacy and things like that, and having longevity. The only way you can do that is you got to be able to last, and
facts,
you know,
facts,
be just like
true
cars,
story.
old building. If we don't tighten up and maintenance and things like that. Shit, we gonna be down for the
Exactly.
like, what I'm saying? Your legacy just die off too, and it's just like I can't
Facts, man.
knowingly let that happen.
Exactly. Nah, that's true, man. That's real. That's real as fuck, man, for real. Cause that's something that I haven't been, the most consistent with, but I'm starting to realize, especially as we are getting, what I'm saying, we're getting older. What I'm saying, the more times we go around the sun. So uh, it's just a part of life. You know what I'm saying? When you pretty much eat anything you want to, and
Yeah.
it's not necessarily the best option for you, but still, you know what I'm saying, you can bounce back when you're young. But you know what I'm saying, oh man, that shit starts to stick to you. You know what I'm saying, in many different ways, and you start to feel different ailments and stuff like that. So you know what I'm saying, eating cleaner is definitely something I have been looking more into. I definitely, like I said, I mean, I've been tapping into your content that I've been seeing in place, brother. And I'll be like, man, y'all got to give me one, man. When I come out there to LA for sure, we got to tap in. But moving forward, man, I got another question for you. Uh, Speaking on, just kind of like some of the challenges and setbacks in life, but people face challenges and setbacks in their journey. Can you discuss a difficult moment in your life or career that tested you mentally, and how you overcame it?
Oh, most definitely, man. I could definitely touch on that, man. Man, shit. A lot of things they'll make you or break you, man. For the most part, um, the main
Sink or
situation
swim.
is um running with the law that I had, man. It's actually, throughout working at some of the top restaurants and things like that. The whole entire way, I have never detoured from my path. Only in a sense of, having minor run-ins with the law and things like that. But it was more so like, just how, like you said, we met, like just divine timing. Like I feel like things are
For
like
sure.
scheduled already on your path, like for you to go through, to make you and build your character, man. Long
For
before
sure.
it happened, they were already like set in stone. So, um, I had a situation basically. I was actually, coming home from work, getting off a late night, midnight. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in between midnight, 1 in the morning. I'm driving home from Santa Monica. I was working at Water Grill Seafood at the time. Nice little restaurant right on the water and on that Ocean
Yeah.
Boulevard. Y'all out, but promo, no free promo. No, nah. But man, I was working there at the time, man, and I was in my Dodge Durango, smashing. You know, got on the freeway, headed home. I was living in South Central at the time. Actually, I was
Okay.
born there. Um, of course, I told you I moved out to Maryland, 2000 and in between '06, '07 after high school.
Yeah.
Um, but I moved back in 2014. So, after like I said, I drove back to DC, drove back from DC all the way back to LA. So I'm living in
Okay.
LA. I'm saying that's when I kind of came back to LA, planting my feet, started hitting the restaurant game, fucking it up out here, you know what I'm saying? Like hotels, restaurants, and stuff. So at that time, I'm specifically working in Santa Monica. I'm doing my thing. I'm on my way home, and I actually run across a vehicle, that, I had my high beam lights on at the time. I forgot the reason, you know what I'm saying? But the police seeing that I had my high beam lights on, they made a U-turn on me,
Okay.
follow follow me
Man.
about 3 blocks to the house. For the most part, pulled me over, violated me, snatched me out the vehicle, and for the most part,
That's cold.
you know, did they thing. You know how they do, man.
Hmm.
And I ended up in
Yeah.
a crazy little situation just off of that. I had a firearm that I actually, legally purchased in Maryland, and it didn't have it wasn't placed properly. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to like the way you're supposed to transport a firearm. I was in the process of moving all my stuff from storage, moving to like where I was residing at the time. So I was in between
Yeah.
places. So, it's just like a minor slip up, but that happened and it kind of like, slightly threw off my path because, I dealt
Yeah.
with just harassment of like police in the local area due to like, the jacket of my family and where I grew up, and the same police that harassed like cousins and different family members throughout the years would be the same ones harassing you when you grow up, waiting on you. So just going through things like that, and you know, eh, for the most part, when I went through these certain things, a week after getting out of like, like the situation, like I spent about, I think 30, 40 days in jail due to that
Okay.
situation, fighting for like, I think facing like 3 years or something like that. They was trying to get me. And,
Wow.
yeah. And, it wasn't nothing too crazy. People been through worse things. It wasn't the worst of
Yeah.
it, but that was just like something that slightly, kind of hiccup my path and my come up or where I was, the trajectory of where I was heading. But
Yeah.
for the most part, a week after that, I got back in the kitchen after getting out, and I was right back on the path. So nothing can really
He
stop me.
said, he said, y'all ain't stopping shit.
That's
That's
like
what I'm talking about.
15ish right there. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
then things started going well after that. After that time, I was working at like I think Sunset Tower Hotel in Hollywood, and
Okay.
so house, and so at that time I'm cooking for celebrities. That's why I kind of have like most of the experience of working with celebrities around that time. That
For sure.
working in Hollywood or whatnot. So
Okay.
Drew or Sylvester Stallone, all them different type of folks would be popping in and out of there. You know, cooking
That's
for.
what's up, man.
I mean, they'll
That's
come
what's up,
out
brother.
like a regular person. You know what I mean? And they'll
Yeah.
they might walking around, and you might like lock eyes with them, and like little shit like that. Nothing like
Yeah.
serving them or nothing like that. But it was just cool just to be like,
In their
like
presence. Yeah.
people who we cooking for. You know what I'm saying? We in Hollywood.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, bro.
All
That's
those
dope. Not a lot of people can say that they have done that, you know what I mean? Or just been able to provide a service for a celebrity.
just by networking with like the right chefs that had the right motion going and shit at the same time. And I'm young. You know what I'm saying? On the come up. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's
Hop
dope.
aboard and shit like that. And, it was a cool opportunity.
Dope as fuck.
Manifested. A lot of people who I listen to music wise, I've like either served them or like cooked, what I mean, for them or with them, and you know what I'm saying. The list goes on, like what I'm saying. It's crazy.
For sure. Hey man, talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Talk your shit. Like if you able to name drop, you know what I'm saying, who are some of the big names that you've you know what I'm saying, let the people know, man. Let the people
Crazy
know.
because
Cause
like
you
a lot of this shit get lost in history because I rarely have interviews. My last interview was probably like 6 years ago. So and like things that get lost in history if you don't really speak on them. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
name
Exactly.
dropping, but
Talk your shit, bro.
like I said, we did Wiz Khalifa, you know what I'm saying? His whole team, you know what I'm saying? Moms, his son. We met all of them, and
Yeah, that's what's
when they
up.
died for I think his 30th birthday,
Shout
we
out
did,
to Will.
top floor yacht, you know what I'm saying? Taking shots of 1942 and shit. That's my first time ever having 1942. And, we was really trying to get out there to smoke, see if we could smoke with them. We didn't get
Hey,
a chance to do that, but the death going through the air, and we got a chance to meet his whole team and chop it up. You know what I'm saying? On some humble, you know what I'm saying? Like dap up and chop it up and
that's
respect,
what's up, man.
keep it cool. Who else, man?
I think
You
that's
know,
every smoker's
couple
dream, though.
couple LA artists. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of Nipsey's team and shit like that. I was like networking, locked in with them. Jay
That's
Stone,
what's up.
I done pulled up and what I'm saying, dropped off
Yeah,
studio and shit. Just cool, like little shit that Spiffy Luciano and a couple
yeah.
cool
That's
guys that
what's up, man. Shout out
just
to All Money In and Spiffy, man. For
yeah,
sure.
couple cool
For
cats.
sure. That's what's up,
Uh,
brother.
and Lady of Rage.
Okay, lady.
From Death
Okay.
Row days, shit. Like I served her
Yeah,
part. You know what I'm saying? I'll be out there and doing the pop ups and shit. So a lot of times I've ran into like a lot of my favorite artists just by what I'm saying, been out there on a pop up tip and they out there at an event. You know what I'm saying? And they happen to walk up and try my food.
That's dope, bro. That's hard, man. That's hey.
I didn't chop it up with Mac Wilds. You know Mac Wilds, my guy from
Nah,
he's
I don't know why Mike
play
was too well.
on what's the show in Baltimore, man? The Wire. That was where
Oh shit. Okay.
he was in a lot.
Wow. Okay.
Like I met Mac Wilds. He bought my tacos, some steak tacos and shit. We chopped it up for a cool minute. You know what I'm saying? Played with
Yeah.
I didn't work with
That's what's up,
some
man.
cool prominent people out here. Like I didn't work with Chef KK. Shout out to her. You know what I mean? That was Nipsey Hussle's chef, personal chef, and
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to KK. Shit.
something
Chef
like that. So
KK.
you know, we didn't did Quavo, Ty Dolla Sign. Um, feel me? We didn't make their whole Christmas dinner and shit like that.
Damn.
Same
Man,
day,
check it.
Quavo, we
Tell
did
him
sign in Hollywood. So
tell
you know,
him check your resume, man. Stop playing with you,
I
bro.
been,
That's what's up, man.
let's don't talk about it, feel me?
Yeah, nah. Hey man, talk your shit, man. This is definitely the platform to do that. You know what I mean? Because again, it's about just uplifting and sharing your experience. Because at the end of the day, like sharing your experience might be the catalyst to change somebody else's life. You know what I'm saying? They might see something in you and your story, man, that'll trigger something in them to put it in fifth gear and like give it they all. Because we all running this marathon, and you know what I'm saying. So sometimes we need a little juice, man, and we get that juice from other people, seeing other people doing that look like us, doing great things, man. So I really appreciate you, you know what I'm saying? Again, just sharing your story, man, because like I said, your resume, bro. Your resume is crazy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And
I'm saying like I really
what's that?
my shit goes deep as far as like just as far as these known prominent
Yeah,
restaurants and awarded restaurants and shit like that, but I really don't really like brag on like, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to like
yeah, nah.
other people establishments, because like the feel of like running your own thing or just like working, you know what I'm saying, with these black businesses or just, you know what I mean, you take more pride in that than even like the resume, but it still like holds its weight. So I'm definitely proud of my experiences and the
Yeah,
different
you
people
do.
shared their skill set with me and allowed me to take bits and pieces of greatness and being able to amplify it in my life, and being able to
Yeah,
influence.
for sure. For sure, man. Like, hey, you doing your thing, bro. You doing your thing for sure, man. And you know what I'm
Likewise, man.
saying? You definitely I'm glad that you know what I'm saying here, you know what I'm saying, this side, because you know what I'm saying, we've been conversating, but like some stuff, you know what I'm saying, I ain't even really know. So, you know what I'm saying, so this is a surprise to me. But definitely glad to hear this, man, for sure. But moving on to like the conversation, man, we're gonna keep this thing rolling. Uh I got another question for you. Speaking on ownership and owning your own stuff. Uh I know that you have, outside of you being a chef, you have branded yourself in a way that you have created certain products around your name. So we're gonna get into that a little bit. And with this question, I'm gonna ask you: entrepreneurship often involves financial risk, right? So how do you manage financial stress and maintain a healthy mindset when facing uncertainties in your businesses? Can you share a specific turning point in your career where you learned a valuable lesson about perseverance and or growth?
I learned a valuable lesson in being able to balance that at the same time of still being able to promote your businesses and still being able to show up and keep things going afloat even when things are impossible almost. You don't even know how you're going to continue sometimes, because the uncertainties of just entrepreneurship in itself, as far as not having the right marketing or different things intact, or or not investing in
Yeah,
proper assistance, you know what I mean, as far as things that can amplify the business and things like that. Just learning, the ups and downs of things like that, um, as they occur, as trial and error for the most part.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I
Because
mean,
not a manual to it, but at the same time, but
yeah,
being able to create things outside of myself is just a lovely thing. It's just a blessing, man, because most of the thoughts came to me just randomly. I could be sitting thinking, doing what I'm doing, and it kind of really came to me like pop right in my brain. So
yeah,
and I stay with it, but they really came like that, and I really just played off of my own name, for the most part.
yeah, yeah.
My
So
pro-
tell the folks some of the other businesses you got going on, or you know what I'm saying, some of the other products that you have created and or sold.
yes, definitely. Right now I have my Steel Rod beard of steel. This is my beard butter here. It's like a beard,
Yeah,
like keep the beard intact.
yeah,
I have also my beard growth oil. So I created these oils and beard butters in 2020. So around the time right before I think COVID was going on.
yeah.
That's the we was kind of locked in. A lot of people was in the house, so those thoughts was just kind of flowing at that time, and I was looking for other ways to find myself outside of the culinary field because at that time a lot of people wasn't even eating out, and a lot of people were playing it safe. People didn't know what was what. COVID was a scary time for people, so at that time I was looking for other ways to transition myself to be able to survive and sustain throughout financial not financial but economic crisis and things like that. I was looking for other ways to keep my name in,
Facts.
and
Yeah,
so that was one of the brands I created, and I also created a health and wellness brand by the name of Steel Rod CMOS. At that time, I specifically was just focusing directly on CMOS, and over time, I began to sell like detox teas and be able to create tinctures and different like oils and
yeah,
different wellness products that can help benefit our community for the most part. For the most part, I
yeah,
was
for sure.
just trying to get my own health intact and just investing into myself and interested in bettering my health, going back into what I was saying earlier about longevity, as far as health being the true wealth.
Yeah,
Also,
facts.
you know,
Facts. You already know mental wealth podcast.
it started as just a quick
Yeah,
journey, like further, better my overall health. You know what I mean?
facts.
Be able to get um, optimal health for the most part, be fully running.
Yeah, yeah, all gas, no brakes. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I respect it though. But another question I got for you as a prominent figure in your field, like how do you feel? Like how do you deal with the pressures of success and the expectations that come with that?
Dealing with the expectations, man, and I'm recently just coming to realize I like to remove myself sometimes from like just the world of perception, or just like the world of expectations and things like that, and just like kind of
Facts.
vibrate on drum, like because sometimes we get caught up in like the rhythm, the algorithm. We get caught up in
Yeah,
like
exactly.
what people expect from us, or what they um want from us, or like say like if we are kind of going against the grain, like a prominent figure in my upbringing was like Nipsey Hussle. Of course, I was a fan since like 2000 and
For
late
sure.
2006 or 7. So
So
he
long live Nip.
he speaks, yeah, long live Nip, man. He speaks about like the unreasonable man. I forgot a quote he was reading in the interview he was talking about, but just making the world adapt to you versus you losing yourself to adapt to the world. So it's like
Facts.
you know, I vibrate off that rhythm algorithm. Like you got to get with what I'm doing. Like what I'm saying, like
Exactly.
what I got going on, or and I'm always willing to grow and work with others. And I'm not saying like in a selfish aspect. I'm just saying like I always just was in my own lane. I feel like, I never tried to follow what nobody
Nice.
was doing. I always just tried to create and make a staple for myself. Anything I've put my hands on, you know.
Nah, facts. That's some real shit you speaking, bro. I could definitely relate to that too. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely am one of those who will definitely remove himself from the expectations of especially social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because this day and age, we the biggest and most impactful way to grow our brand is through using the power of social media.
yeah,
But with that always comes some type of expectation, or the people that you make this content for, they expecting you to consistently make content. And if they don't like the content, they gonna let you know what I'm saying, like 9 times out of 10. But then also too, some of the connections that I've tried to make on social media have been what I'm saying, disingenuine. You know what I'm saying, there's people that put off a certain persona on social media, but then realistically, when you have conversations with these individuals, you know what I mean, or try to work with these individuals, it's like uh, they try to downplay what you got going on, or like they just they say they
um,
say one thing and act a different way. You know what I mean? So
yeah, man. I've dealt with that. I've dealt with that a lot, man. A lot. Really, 90% of my dislike for social media comes from that. You know,
facts,
I respect and I value social media for, like, the positive things that it brings when it
facts.
how to utilize these platforms to, grow our companies and things like that. But for the most part, like you said, like, I remove myself. I don't really put my personal uh, feelings involved when it comes to, like, being attached to the expectations of social media. It just really, it's kind of pointless. It's just like you said, you run across a lot of disingenuine, robotic individuals, man. I feel like we've as a culture, we kind of utilize social media for the wrong things, because really it's just a marketing tool. It's a platform to
Yeah,
be,
absolutely.
for the most part, start off with just pictures, but you're allowed to promote companies and different brands, and so I feel like it has grown into an advertising platform, which is all good, for what it's
Yeah,
worth. But I feel like when we involve our lifestyles and unless it's directed towards a brand, if we involve our
yeah,
personal styles, it can be like detrimental when it comes to, like, egos and different not having
facts.
discipline and different things like that. I feel like as
Exactly.
we we tend to get distracted a lot. So of course, like,
Yeah,
it serves us in that part. You run across a lot of disingenuine people, and sometimes it's a lot of times. In my case, it'd be like the closest people to you, like the people that you would expect to, be saluting and rooting for you. But like you said,
yeah,
you can't
that's the
expect,
worst.
like, just expecting anything. It's like you're already selling yourself short. You're
Exactly.
expecting a downfall because, like, we kind of raised. You know what I'm saying? You come up in California just like me. We raised
Yeah,
off that that ride or die mentality. I mean, for the most part, like in my era where we kind of came up, we had our intelligence, but at the same time, we had our, ignorance of it, like, and it worked and it served us for so much, for what it was worth. But
right.
like ride or die, like I got your back to the casket drop. Like that's how we,
Right.
music. It was just like programming us, and I kind of believed that coming up, whether
Yeah,
I
it was what.
thousands of markets, whether it's in the culinary field and the bougie country club in Virginia, or what I mean, in the black owned spot, what I mean, whipping up
Yeah,
for the community or wherever the fuck, wherever you at. I didn't finish,
yeah.
so but I say all that to say, I don't know, man. It's crazy, you
Feel
know.
me, man?
But for the most,
It could get wicked. It could get wicked out there, man.
yeah, for social media though, man, I feel like I'm really like beating around the bush, but if I cut straight through it, um, a lot of people, I've lost a lot of relationships through social media, and it wasn't necessarily anything that occurred on social media. It just the vibes be like fake. I don't know, you know. It's just weird energy. I don't like weird energy, so you know,
Facts. Me either.
like if I love you or if I like respect you, I value you, I'm gonna tell you. I'm like, oh, if I see you, what you doing, I'm gonna salute you and I'm gonna be rooting for you. I really
Yeah,
want you to.
facts.
I really want to see you. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Break the barriers of wherever you're trying to shoot for, and it's like I don't feel like people want that in return for you. They more so like, damn, how's this nigga still doing it, or how
Yeah.
like what makes him keep going? Like I'm so interested. I want to
Yeah.
see. I don't fuck with it.
Can't figure it out.
I ain't tell him, man. I don't want to see this nigga win like that, but I just want to know like how to do it. Like I need sauce, and
Exactly.
man, like what I don't be knowing what people interest in me be. I be like, I really don't know. Damn it, are you hating on a nigga, or are you rooting for me? Because if you rooting for me, like
Nah,
no. If not, you know what I'm saying, it's cool to hit the dough, and there's no love lost. Like you know what I'm saying.
exactly. Nah, what I believe it is, man, it's just at the end of the day, I think it's just people love to see you do good, just not better than them. But they
Pretty much.
willing to watch. You know what I'm saying? They willing to watch. You know what I'm saying? Either way it go, they sitting back and they watching, bro. Like, and the crazy thing about it is now it's like social media done added a new feature to where you can see who is watching your shit, and
That's
then
crazy.
it be the same folks. You know what I'm saying? Just sitting back,
Like
peeping.
like your boy Jay
It's
Z
crazy.
said, I forgot what song, but he's like, it's only entertainment. Like, at the end of the day, like it's just entertainment for these people. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They want to see a show. They want to see, you know what I'm saying? They'll watch you win.
Exactly.
They want to see that rise for the most part, but
Exactly.
it won't be a genuine like visual of like, okay, I really want to see this brother like, you know, break the barrier, you know, break the firmament. Like
Yeah.
it's more so like, okay, I want to see your rise to see you fall. Like I don't know,
Exactly.
you know?
It's crazy too because it's like a lot of it's so much money out here, man. It's so much money out here to where everybody can eat, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like everybody's just trying to be, you know what I'm saying, the one with it with everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, bro, what you don't realize is, you know what I'm saying, if you got it all and I'm over here in lack, what do you think I'm about to go do? I'm gonna run up in your shit and like let's be real, bro. Like
Yeah.
that's just the way and I feel like between people of color, especially black people, you know what I mean? I feel like we do that to each other more than any other race for it. Like it's like we have certain people that we elevate to certain positions and we allow them to gatekeep and they're the folks who allow certain people in and keep certain people loud and you know what I'm saying and try to bring up they folks. But in reality, bro, it's like that's lame as fuck to me because to me, I grew up on you come up on something and you make it, you reach back and you grab somebody else and you pull them with you. You know what I'm saying? Whether regardless or not, if you know this motherfucker, if he's a part of your people or not, if you see somebody out here doing something that's positive, they trying to uplift themselves and their community, why would you not want to help, bro? Why would you not want to reach your hand out, even if they was doing it wrong? And you saw potential. Why would you not want to reach your hand out and be like, "Hey, little bro, let me help you. Let me help you with that. Let me connect you with this individual." You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that's weird. That's that crab in the bucket mentality that I can't fuck with, and for all real ignorant to me.
Really like this at the end of the day, man. Like, but you know, like I give respect where it's due, but at the same time, like that gate, like that's where it comes to people like me and you, like where we just like we don't fuck,
Yeah.
we create our own lane.
Oh,
Like I don't have
oh,
to gotta fuck with me, you know. So I love like we create
yeah.
our and we matching that, and you know like the expectations, we just kind of like bury that away, because at the same time, it's like I used to have expectations like that. I'd be like, man, like, because you be thinking like, okay, you be making these moves, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to, get my feet wet. I'm around, you know what I'm saying? I'm in these rooms, you feel me? Like, I'm on my chef shit, but
Yeah.
I was in these rooms, you know what I'm saying? I done been in a few of those, like, little Hollywood parties where, like, you seeing the weird shit that they talking about.
Oh, yeah.
But not
Oh
let,
man.
you know what I'm saying? But, like, I done been in some,
Yeah.
like, parties where, you know what I'm saying, you got motherfuckers from England and different, like, Romania and shit that's there, that's like
Yeah.
chefs that's in this field of, you know what I mean, that can, like, bring somebody higher up, like, and put in position.
Yeah.
Be on that weird shit too, the same shit, like, like how the rap niggas talk about, like, as far as they experience and shit like that, that shit going in other markets too, man. I
Yeah,
had people
real
offer me
clear.
like little, TV deals, or not TV deals, like where it was like written out, like, oh, you getting this deal, but they was like, yeah, man, like we shoot, like, we pay like $40,000 a shoot, yada yada, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But you see in their eye what they own, and like the energy is just like trying to get close to you, trying to, like, trying to touch your shoulder and shit. Like,
No, yeah.
don't kill you. I see what
Yeah.
y'all doing. I'm not fucking with you.
Yeah. Nah. So moving on, man, moving the conversation along. Uh, I got one more question for you. What advice or insights would you offer to aspiring entrepreneurs, especially those from represented communities who are passionate about pursuing their own dreams?
The advice that I would offer, man, I would just say, create a plan and execute the plan. Don't necessarily set a time limit, but set a time limit that you're comfortable with, and don't get too comfortable. That's not the goal there, but set a plan. Make a list for sure. Writing it down is the first step. Because sometimes we can kind of be freestyling, just with it in our head, and have good intentions
Yeah.
to want to do certain things, and then it'll just be a talking plot, and then somebody else
Yeah.
that you talking about it around is gonna execute and act on it, and then you're gonna be kind of like, damn, man. So, like, for the most part, writing it down, and then attacking and executing, and just scratch off that list. Anytime you scratch off that list, feel good about it, and
Right.
that's pretty much it, man, for the most part. But
Yeah. No,
actually,
I can.
yeah, just put those words
Yeah.
into action. You know what I mean? Like, do each
Yeah.
task needed to execute, man. Because I feel like that is what helped me along the way, and it wasn't always like that. Originally, it was just thoughts, and things would manifest just off thought. Like, for me, kind of more so when I was younger. um,
Facts.
but it came to me writing it down. I would, like, draw. I doodle a lot. For,
Nah,
like,
we,
I would,
we
like,
got you, man.
draw out. Yeah, I would draw out, like,
Yeah.
just that I want to see, man. I have, like, a regular sheet of
Yeah.
paper. I'll draw a grill. I'll draw me, you know what I'm saying, standing by the grill, a long line of people and shit. I drew these certain
Facts.
things before they happen. Feel me? Just like
That's
things I want to
crazy.
see grow in my business, and different things I want to do. Or, like,
Yeah.
even getting a car that I was not necessarily a car I was trying to get, but upgrading a certain part of my lifestyle in certain areas at certain times. You know what I mean? I've, like,
Facts.
manifested those things just off, like, writing it down, and going off of, like, really just winging that shit. And a lot of things
Yeah.
kind of
Nah, I
flow
feel it.
to me in a sense, but it's got to
Yeah.
get back that bag of that energy.
I feel it.
No, that's how that shit go.
Nah, I can definitely attest to that too, man. Cause like when it comes to this entrepreneurship, man, like this shit is like you gotta be a little bit crazy, man. Like you really gotta be a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, nigga, because you know what I'm saying, putting yourself out there and putting and creating a brand is not easy, bruh. It's not
Yeah,
easy, you know what I'm saying? And like really, you really got to do your research and you know what I'm saying, and make sure that whatever you put out is gonna be valuable to the people that's you know what I'm saying that you're putting it out for. So, you know what I mean, with me and my clothing brand, you know what I mean, it's I think the most difficult thing has just been reach. Here recently, I just started running ads and stuff like that to get more reach, and I've been getting a much better response. So it's just really trial and error for me. You know what I'm saying? If I was gonna give some advice to somebody who wanted to, what I'm saying, start their own journey on their own path. First and foremost, I just gotta say, like, if that's your dream, if that's your goal, if that's your passion, man, do that shit. Don't give a fuck about what nobody talking about. Don't listen to
Facts.
your mom, your grandmama. Don't listen to your cousins. Don't listen to your auntie. Don't listen to your uncles. None of that.
Man,
If
fuck
you
everybody.
gotta, for real, tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying?
You know?
Like, you got a dream, you got a goal. Like Mr. Rod Steele said, usually it's a divine thought or something. You know what I'm saying? It's a divine download, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can think of something and then manifest it into real life, you know what I'm saying? That is godlike, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
not too many people are able to do that. You know what I'm saying? And successfully do that. So, if you're able to think of something, bring it up in your mind, and then bring it into reality, that's a gift. You know what I'm saying? Like, and run with
Yeah.
that.
It could be
Really don't
scary
be afraid.
sometimes, man. It could be like,
Yeah.
damn, like this shit really happening at this moment, and I've thought of doing this before, or like, I just was, didn't have shit going, working a regular
Yeah.
job, stressed, behind on bills, and you listening to like, like some of your favorite artists or just, shit that you fucking with, and you in a whole different
Facts.
year, whole different
Facts.
fucking state and shit. And then you can, you actually bring forth certain shit in the future, like, okay, you right in front of such and such, and you cooking and you doing this and that, you know what I'm saying? You working,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm
You
like,
doing
damn,
your shit.
that's shit crazy. You be like, damn, I actually
I used to
thought
dream
like,
about this.
before. Yeah. Yeah, and then not like,
Yeah.
okay, this is my dream, but like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was gonna do some shit for Nip. Like that shit was like, right really close from happening, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right before he passed.
Yeah.
It was gonna happen, I feel like, if he didn't
Yeah.
pass, like for sure, just cause, the connections of, certain shit I was, networking at that time, and it was just like, it was a kind of it was, unpredictable situation where that happened.
Yeah.
Kind of changed the course of
Facts.
the energy in the city. So
Facts, man. Yeah, that touched everybody, man. I know California was on a standstill. You know what I'm saying? It's
it's
like,
like a little
the
dark
whole,
cloud over this.
yeah, the whole state was just like just shook, man. Cause I know that shit shook me to the core, man. Cause I was like, what? When I heard the news, I was like, no, you're
Yeah,
lying. Like,
you be
you're
like,
lying.
damn,
There's no way.
of all people, you know what I'm saying? Because like
Yeah,
I really
it's
came up
crazy,
listening to
man.
Nip, like and it's like Dana, like almost like a cousin or family member, like that you feel like
For
you grew from
real.
like that. Because when he spoke to us, that not even just the tone of what he's saying, just like what he was saying wasn't said before.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Exactly. He
mean,
was putting he was putting niggas on different shit.
yeah, it wasn't said
Yeah.
before. I ain't gonna say it wasn't said before. It has been said before, but not in the
Yeah.
way he was saying it. He's
Right,
saying
right.
it in a way where it hit the soul of, like certain. If you came up in that era of, our generation and what
Yeah.
was going on in LA or just like, in other parts of the California, which, is similar,
Yeah.
like, you felt exactly, what I'm
What it
saying? It was
is.
authentic
Yeah.
to the core, So I feel like
Yeah.
that's
And
what
it's
allowed
crazy.
me,
Yeah, it's crazy too,
uh,
cause Nip has been up here to the city that I grew up in. It's in the city of Seaside, man. So he came up
yeah,
here, what I'm saying, a couple times to the projects, man. So like that's crazy, you know what I'm saying, to think about, man, because it's like, just what I'm saying, I never got to meet, you know what I'm saying, I never got to meet him, but you know what I'm saying, just being able to walk the same, what I'm saying, areas that a legend walked, you know what I'm saying, is a big deal, man. So like, I try to being where I'm from, man, I try to just really put on for, what I'm saying, for the home team. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I always root for what I'm saying, what I'm saying, a lot of other people, but it's just like, whenever I put something out, man, I'm always trying to show love to the what I'm saying, to what I'm saying, where I'm, what I'm saying, where I'm from. So, so yeah, I definitely feel that, bro. I definitely
yeah.
feel that, man. So, and it's like it's so crazy, man, when I think about that whole Nip thing, man. But I think the biggest thing that I learned from that is that you really gotta keep your circle a triangle, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta keep it smaller than a circle. Like you can't even really have that many people around you that, you know what I'm saying, that
Have
because
access. Like, yeah,
yeah,
I keep it limited access, man. That's just how
exactly.
I always moved like that since I was young. Really, I always moved militant. And a lot of people
Yeah.
might the misconception of me, like just by maybe the way I look or just
Oh,
um
facts, bro.
I don't speak
Facts.
much or just I don't really come off as a threatening figure, which is I operate like that on purposely. You know what I mean? And just
Yeah.
like that's just how I kind of came up. I came up militant, where you have to mask like who you really are to like
Facts.
what I'm saying, wiggle in rooms. And I'm not saying like I'm like some cutthroat, like rugged person or nothing like that. But I
Yeah.
came up around all the crazy stuff, just like you said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
And I know you can relate. So I
yeah,
came
most
up
definitely.
and I could have went that route, but I chose not to because it just wasn't gonna serve me or my
Nah,
legacy or my family. So
nah, not at
but
all, man. And you know what I'm saying? It's definitely that's definitely felt too, because growing up in, like, you know what I'm saying, and gang and drug culture, it's like, it's a certain kind of lifestyle. It's a certain kind of, you know what I'm saying, mentality that you gotta have, you know what I mean? Like just being black and around that shit. So, it's shit gets deep, man. Shit runs deep. Because you really gotta be on your P's and Q's, like I said before, because especially having family members that's really active in that shit, really politicking and stuff like that. Like, you
yeah,
know, you might, they might have pissed somebody off from you know what I'm saying, from a whole nother set or something like that. And because they can't get to them, they get to one of their closest family members, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
it's just it can get wicked, man. So I definitely feel you on that one, man, brother. Man, this has been a episode for real, my guy, man. This has been a conversation that I think is definitely gonna continue on for sure. I think it's gonna be one of many. I definitely enjoyed myself, man, and I hope, what I'm saying, that you are definitely willing to come back, what I'm saying, and bless the podcast with some more insight and knowledge, man, because I feel like, we could go on forever, bro. This podcast could be like a 19 keys episode. This should be like 3-4 hours long. You know what I'm
Hey, man,
saying?
we
So,
could really lock in on some real shit, like like
yeah,
our story
definitely.
goes on. Like it's so much I didn't touch on. At the same time,
Definitely.
it's like I'm glad that we did touch on what we did. So you
Yeah.
know,
But like I said, I'm definitely, I mean, we could do a part two, you know what I'm
yeah, we're
saying?
gonna definitely do a part two, man. We
Yeah.
put that in the air.
Yeah, most definitely, man. And like I said, man, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast for sure, bro. Like someone of your stature, bro. And I appreciate you coming in and like really just fucking with me just for who I am and you know what I'm saying, what I got going on, and you know what I'm saying, just giving me your time, bro. Like for real. I really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And outside of that, bro, like go ahead and plug your stuff, man. Let the people know where they can find you at, you know what I'm saying, what platforms you on, and how they can reach out to you if somebody wants to reach out to you.
Most definitely, man. You can find me on most platforms, man. I'm on TikTok, Instagram. I believe I did create a Patreon, man, but I gotta tap in to see what my handle is. But everything at Rod Steele The Chef, man. That's RODSTEELE The Chef, man. Everything Rod Steele The Chef. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. You know what I mean? I got my links in my bios, everything. Still Sharp and Still. That's my fitness page. It's in a link in my bio. The standing burrito. I'm doing it all, man. I got beard oils.
Yes, sir.
I got too much shit to name, man. Just tap in on
Tell them, check that
IG,
link in the
in the
bio.
bio, man. So yeah,
Yes, sir. Check his resume, y'all. Like I'm telling you, man, definitely somebody you wanna, you know what I'm saying, definitely tap into. If you, especially if you're in the LA scene or you just in California in general, man, book this man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Book this
I do
man.
travel, man. I do travel, man.
Yeah,
I go up, in all parts of California, man. I'll hit Vegas, Arizona,
for
Lake
sure.
Havasu, whatever, man. I gets around, man. Depends on what I mean, how much the check is, of course, but you know.
There you go. He said,
Feel
hey, as long as the money right, he there. So most definitely, man. But I appreciate you, bro. I,
Likewise, man.
but we definitely gonna, like I said, we gonna chop it up again, man. And thank you again for coming on. And
Appreciate you having me, man. You already know, man. We're gonna lock in and continue this conversation, man. And it's gonna be
so yeah, that was Rod Steele the Chef, man. That was an interview, and I hope y'all did too. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Mental Wealth Podcast on all social media. You know what I'm saying? You catch me on Instagram right now at the Mental Wealth Podcast. And we are on all listening platforms. That would be Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, and all other podcasts that you listen to. So please tap in when you get the opportunity. Please also make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe and share this episode, man. Share us out, man, and let people know that we are here. You know what I'm saying? And I am excited to catch y'all on the next episode. So again, man, make sure y'all tap in. Make sure y'all hit y'all notifications so that way you know every time we drop an episode, we are in your rotation of podcasts. So once again, thank y'all for tuning in. Peace, love, and abundance to you. Why? Because it's your birthright. Make sure you live in it. I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. I'm out.